Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Thursday Night Impact or Hit. Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and with Aiden English. And then today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit, we're going to talk about what we saw yesterday on Dynamite or Might. Yesterday on Dynamite or Might, this is what we saw. Yesterday we happened to see LA Knight fight Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And Maxwell Jacob Friedman beat LA Knight. Why? Because LA Knight stood up to Sonya Deville, the underwicker of the Toy Wrestling Gathering, and she put him in a bind. But I truly believe at the end of the day, that is just a war starting between the two. Well, you would be right about that one, Jonathan Coachman says. And I don't care what Sonya Deville says. I believe she has something against Stephanie Spinks, something against Calistro, something against LA Knight, and she can say she doesn't, but her words say one thing, but her deeds say something else. Well, let me tell you something right now, Joey and Jonathan. The way things are going, Sonya Deville is not answerable to you. She is only answerable to Theodore Long, most likely Gil Kim, Gajora, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Astronema, Xena, whatever. And she is not answerable to you. So, at the end of the day, you can have all your beliefs you want, about that. If she truly has something against Calistro, the Funny Spinks, or LA Knight, she would say something. And if she didn't say it yesterday, Jonathan, then it's because she doesn't. Or she could be lying, Joey Styles says. Folks have been known to be unearnest. Because you ask them something doesn't mean they're going to be earnest about it either. You got that right, Joey Styles, Jonathan Coachman says. She could be lying about that. And LA Knight isn't the kind of man that's going to put up with that anytime soon. Alright everyone, it's me, LA Knight. And I want to say, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, this whole war between the two of us, it isn't over. It started. If you think you're going to walk away like you did yesterday on Dynamite or Might, it didn't happen. I dropped you. And yeah, you might be the two-time AEW heavyweight fighter, and you might have been a two-time TWF heavyweight fighter. But I could win that strap, maybe not win the AEW heavyweight winnings, but I can win the TWF heavyweight winnings. And I know I'd drop you again like that. And you're not so bright, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, because you're dumb, and you have Paulie Dangerously as your overseer, so you know you ain't bright about that. And we all know that if Logan Paul came to the WWE, Paulie Dangerously would shift on you like that. Ladies and lords, my name is Paulie Dangerously, and I am the overseer and oracle, overseer and seer for Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And MJF, LA Knight, he has done things that you haven't done at all. Oh, yes, you were a former NWA heavyweight fighter when you were in the NWA. Yes, you were a former TNA tag team fighter when you were in TNA. In your first run in WWE, you were on TNA, and NXT didn't go very well. And yes, in your 2-week run in WWE, you were the WWE $100 fighter. You were a 2-time WWE 4-1 rank fighter, going from NXT to SmackDown and Raw. But Maxwell Jacob Friedman, he won the TNA heavyweight, the AEW heavyweight winnings 2 times. He won the TWF heavyweight winnings 2 times. And he got dropped on his head like that, Paulie Dangerously. I dropped the two-time AEW heavyweight fighter on his head, just like I dropped you on your head. And I will warn you, if you do that to me again, I will law work you. And you're going to have to law work me after you wake up from being dropped on your head. Yeah! Oh, so you're going to take it out on the overseer. Oh, like I'm not the first time I ever had to sell bumps to someone like you. You know what your bind is? You got all the skills, but you don't got anyone to lead them. You know, you would do so great, LA Knight, if you did have someone to lead you. You know, I have been working with many wrestlers since my days in the AWA, MACW, WCW, ECW, WWF, WWE. You think that I need someone like you taking bumps for me? Someone cheating so I can help win matches? No. You tell Maxwell Jacob Friedman when I see him again, I'll drop him on his head. And then he'll know whose game it is. LA Knight. Yeah! Oh! And Maxwell Jacob Friedman just knocked down LA Knight from behind. You wouldn't even last in MLW or JCW or AEW, so shut your mouth. Here, Paul. Hit him. Yeah! And Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Paulie Dangerously just did what one would call a beatdown, or a hit and run, if you want to say it right, Joey Styles says. Oh yeah, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Paulie Dangerously think that they're so wise for doing that double team. I think that makes him a weakling in my book, Joey Styles says. I think it does, Jonathan Coachman says. A weakling would strike you from behind, but if they truly were bold or fearless, they wouldn't do something like that. They're weaklings in my book. How do you know, Aiden English said, that they're weaklings in my book? You don't know. You don't know what they do. You can't say they're weaklings or not. Well, here they go. Okay, we gotta get out of here now. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Hold it on, players. Now, I don't know, Paulie Dangerously, what your whole thing is about, but if your whole game is about giving out cheap shots and then thinking you're gonna run off, think again. Your man, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, is gonna fight LA Knight here today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. Now, can you hear that, players? I am not a player. Well, you need to back up, because I will not deal with your shit, Paulie Dangerously. You know, I'm not Adam Pearce. I'm not Santina Morella, you know. I'm not going to be bullied by your bullshit. Well, now we go, Well, now we go to the match now between, you know, Maxwell Jacob Friedman and, you know, LA Knight. Well, that's not fair. That's not fair to them at all. You know, Maxwell Jacob Friedman should have not been in the match. Ding all. Well, Joey Styles says Maxwell Jacob Friedman in a bind right now. And LA Knight taking him up in a body slam. And down goes Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Maxwell Jacob Friedman with a drop kick, and him and Paulie Dangerously did their, you know, their sneak attack. They had the double team we saw earlier. Well, that's right, Jonathan Coachman says. Maxwell Jacob Friedman want to talk about how they're, you know, how they're bold and fearless, but then their deeds showed them that they're weaklings because they ran off. Well, I'll tell you who the weakling was. Have you not forgot what LA Knight did to Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Paulie Dangerously yesterday on Dynamite or Might? Have you not forgotten that? You know, about who is a weakling then. You know? And Maxwell Jacob Friedman in a bind now, and they just took down LA Knight. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, a body slam. The two-time AEW heavyweight fighter. The former two-time TWF heavyweight fighter too, Joey Styles says. And Maxwell Jacob Friedman believes that he is one of the greatest wrestlers out there. He's like the AEW offshoot of The Miz, Joey Styles says. Yes, he is, Jonathan Coachman says. You know, even though they're mostly on alike, there are some things between The Miz and Maxwell Jacob Friedman that are the same. One, they both think highly of themselves. Two, they think they should get on look by asking for it. Maxwell Jacob Friedman coming up again, and LA Knight dropped him down. Well, when you're as skilled as MJF or The Miz is, you should be asking on look from folks. They should only give it to you, Aiden English says. Here it comes. 1, 2. Paulie Dangerously's got up there. And while Varia's dealing with Paulie Dangerously and telling him to get off, Maxwell Jacob Friedman just DDT'd, LA Knight. And that means Maxwell Jacob Friedman is going to win this match here today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Maxwell Jacob Friedman just beat LA Knight here today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. And I think Paulie Dangerously and Maxwell Jacob Friedman are going to feel very happy with themselves with this win. In their eyes, they're going to see a win as a win, Joey Styles says. Yes, we do know that Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Paulie Dangerously are weaklings. And both of them are going to see that win as a win, and they won't care if they get scathed for it or not. I'm going to tell you right now, Aiden English says, LA Knight just got outwised. That is what happened. Someone truly did outwise him, and he don't know how to handle it, Aiden English says. Well, that need be true, or need be not true. We'll take it away now with Mike Lane. Thank you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. I'm going to be talking with LA Knight here today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. Alright, LA Knight, things didn't seem to go the way you wanted them to go. And Maxwell Jacob Friedman, well, he ended up beating you. You got that right, Mike Lane. I didn't get the win I wanted to get. And Maxwell Jacob Friedman, yeah, he got the win on me. Big deal. If you think this means that everything between us is done, and you think you got the win over me, think again, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, because you did not get the win over me. I'm going to get my hands on you, and sooner or later, you're going to learn whose game it is. It's LA Knight's game, yeah. Well, LA Knight, do you have any goals of becoming the TWF heavyweight fighter? Well, you asked me if I have goals, Mike Lane, of becoming the TWF heavyweight fighter, and the answer to the asking thing is yes, I do. I do have goals to become the TWF heavyweight fighter one day. How that happens, I don't know. But I know it will happen one day. You know? And I know one day that will happen. How it happens, I don't know. I'll make it happen. And Maxwell Jacob Friedman, this is not over. Our bind between each other is not over. Well, That's my talk with LA Knight and Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Back to you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. Well, thank you, thank you, Mike Lane, for talking with Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Talking with LA Knight here today on Thursday Night Impact or Hit. Shit, fuck. You know, for I, Joey Styles, shit, something stuck? Yeah. And for let's do it again. That's all the time we got here. For I, Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and Aiden English, we hope you like Thursday Night Impact or Hit. And we'll see you tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown.